Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Voxora, where you'll learn real English the natural way. Let's get started.
Today, English won't feel like a difficult lesson. It will feel like a calm, honest conversation between you and a supportive mentor. I'll guide you one simple step at a time so you can relax, use your voice, and grow more confident through real practice. Let me ask you something. When you know what you want to say in English, what usually stops the words from coming out? You know exactly what you want to say. The thought is clear in your own language. But then you begin translating. You search for the right verb. You check the grammar. You change the sentence. And before you're ready, the conversation has already moved on. You smile, but inside you think, I knew the answer. Why couldn't I say it? If that has happened to you, there is nothing wrong with you. Translation is a normal stage of learning. Today, we are simply going to make it less necessary. Before this video ends, you'll complete a practical speaking routine at home, record a short voice diary, and speak for 1 full minute using English that comes from the moment around you. Let's begin now, before your mind has time to make this difficult. Look at one object near you. Any object. A phone, a table, a door, a bottle, or a chair. Now say, I can see my phone. If you chose something else, replace the final word. I can see a chair. I can see a window. I can see a cup. Say your sentence aloud now. Good. You've already produced an English thought from something you can see. You didn't need a complicated idea. You connected the object directly to an English sentence. That small connection is where today's practice begins. I'm here with you at Lumina Academy, and for the next few minutes, I don't want you to be only a listener. I want you to use your voice. It may feel quiet, uncertain, or a little uncomfortable. That's fine. We're not testing your English. We're training your ability to reach for it. When you learned your first language, meaning came before grammar explanations. You saw food. You heard a familiar word. You felt hunger. These things became connected through experience. As an adult learning English, you may often take a longer path. First, you notice the situation. Then you describe it in your language. Then you translate it into English. Then you check whether the English is correct. That path contains too many stops for a quick conversation. Our goal is not to ban translation. Sometimes translation is useful. It can help you understand a new idea or confirm the meaning of a word. The problem begins when you depend on it for every sentence. So today, we'll build several shorter paths between ordinary life and familiar English. Let's create the first one. Look around your room and find 3 things you already know in English. Don't search for unusual objects. Choose easy ones. Point to the first object and name it. Then point to the second, then the third. Perhaps you said, desk, lamp, bag. Now connect each word to a useful phrase. This is my desk. The lamp is on. My bag is near the door. Repeat those 3 sentences slowly. Don't worry if they don't describe your room exactly. After repeating them, change the details so they become true for you. This is my table. The window is open. My bag is on the floor. When you name what you can see, English stops being only information in a book. It becomes attached to your environment. Later, when you see that object again, the English phrase may return more quickly. Now let's add sound and physical feeling. For 5 seconds, be quiet and notice what you can hear. Perhaps there's traffic outside. Maybe a fan is running. Someone may be speaking in another room. You may hear almost nothing. Choose one sentence. I can hear traffic. I can hear someone talking. It's quiet here. Say the sentence that matches your situation. Now notice how your body feels. Are you warm, cold, comfortable, hungry, or tired? Choose one simple thought and speak it. I feel comfortable. I'm a little tired. I'm getting hungry. There's no need to create a perfect description. You're practicing a direct response to reality. You notice something and you say something. That is much closer to what happens in a real conversation. Let's combine what you've done. Complete these sentences aloud. I can see. I can hear. I feel. Pause the video if you need more time, but try not to prepare your answers in your first language. Look, notice, and use the English you already have. You may have discovered something important. Thinking in English doesn't mean producing deep, complex ideas from the beginning. It can start with a lamp, a sound, or a feeling. The thought can be small and still be real. Now, I want to show you how daily actions can become speaking practice. You don't need a classroom. Your home already gives you hundreds of situations. Imagine that you've just woken up. Instead of creating a long description of your morning, speak through one action at a time. I'm getting out of bed. I'm opening the curtains. I need some water. I'm making breakfast. I'm getting ready for work. These are complete pieces of language. You can learn and retrieve them as whole phrases. This is usually more useful for speaking than memorizing separate words and trying to assemble them under pressure. Let's practice with your real situation now. What are you doing at this moment? You can say, I'm sitting in my room. Perhaps you're standing, walking, cooking, or resting. Change the action and say one true sentence. Now tell me what you're doing after this video. I'm going to make some tea. I'm going to continue my work. I'm going to have dinner. I'm going to take a short break. Choose one and say it, or create your own simple version. Notice that you don't need to analyze every piece of grammar while speaking. I'm going to is a sentence frame. You keep the frame and change the action. One familiar frame can carry many different thoughts. Try it 3 times. I'm going to. Use 3 plans that are true for you. This is why useful phrases matter. An isolated word gives you one small piece. A phrase gives you something your mouth can use immediately. If you learn only the word break, you may still hesitate. If you learn I need a break, you already have a natural thought. You can also adapt it. I need a minute. I need some help. I need more time. I need to think. Say those sentences with me. I need a minute. I need some help. I need more time. I need to think. Now choose the one you're most likely to use and repeat it once more. Later, we'll use these frames in a 1-minute challenge. For now, we're building the pieces you'll need. The next exercise will train quicker retrieval. In conversation, you rarely have unlimited time to design an answer. So I'll ask you easy questions. Give yourself 3 seconds to begin answering. Your answer doesn't have to be long. The goal is to start. What are you drinking today? 1, 2, 3, answer. You might say, I'm drinking water, or I haven't had anything yet. What did you eat this morning? 1, 2, 3, answer. What do you usually do in the evening? 1, 2, 3, answer. How are you feeling right now? 1, 2, 3, answer. What are you going to do tomorrow? 1, 2, 3, answer. If you couldn't answer one of the questions quickly, don't judge yourself. Simply take the question again and prepare one short response. Speed develops when familiar language is retrieved many times. It doesn't develop by forcing yourself to speak carelessly. Let's try a second round, but this time, begin with a sentence frame. For a question about routine, begin with, I usually. For a question about your present situation, begin with, right now, I'm. For a question about preference, begin with, I prefer. For a question about tomorrow, begin with, tomorrow, I'm going to. Complete each frame now. I usually. Right now, I prefer. Tomorrow, I'm going to. These 4 beginnings give your brain a place to start. Once the first few words are moving, the rest of the sentence often becomes easier. You may sometimes know the meaning you want to express, but not the exact English word. This is where many learners stop completely. But communication doesn't require the most precise word every time. It requires a meaning that another person can understand. Imagine that you forget the word kettle. You could freeze and search your memory. Or you could say, it's the thing I use to heat water. If you forget umbrella, you might say, it's something I use when it rains. If you forget charger, you could say, it gives power to my phone. These descriptions may not be elegant, but they keep your English moving. More importantly, they teach you to work with the language you have. Let's play with this. Think of an object in your room, but don't say its name. Describe what it does, where it is, or what it looks like. Begin with one of these frames. It's something I use for... It's the thing that... It's near. It looks like. For example, it's something I use for writing. It's small and it's on my desk. What is it? A pen. Now choose your own object and describe it aloud. Give yourself 10 seconds. Very good. Even if your description was imperfect, you stayed in English and carried the meaning forward. You can use the same skill when you forget an action. If you don't know the verb, explain the result. Instead of becoming silent, say, I don't know the word, but I mean this. Then use easy language or a gesture if someone can see you. There are also short phrases that give you time in a conversation without making you disappear from it. Let me think. I'm not sure yet. How can I say this? I don't know the exact word. What I mean is, these are not signs of weak English. Fluent speakers also pause, reconsider, and explain themselves. Natural speaking includes recovery. Repeat each phrase after me with a calm voice. Let me think. I'm not sure yet. How can I say this? I don't know the exact word. What I mean is, now imagine I ask, what kind of work would you like to do in the future? Begin with, let me think. Then give a simple answer. It could be, I'd like to work with people. Or, I'm not sure yet, but I want to do something creative. Answer aloud now. The pause phrase creates breathing room. It lets you remain part of the conversation while your mind prepares the next idea. Reactions are useful for the same reason. A conversation isn't only a series of perfect answers. Sometimes you're showing that you understand, that you're interested, or that you need clarification. Say these natural reactions with me. I see. That makes sense. Really? That's interesting. I understand what you mean. Could you say that again? Try to give each one a real purpose. Don't repeat them like a machine. Imagine that someone has just told you something. Your friend says, I'm working from home today. You respond, I see. They say, it saves me a lot of travel time. You say, that makes sense. They mention an idea you didn't expect. You say, really, that's interesting. They explain something too quickly. You say, could you say that again? Short reactions reduce pressure because you don't have to produce a long response every time. They also help you stay connected to the speaker. Let's enter a small conversation together. I'll speak first. You answer aloud. Keep your answer simple and begin within 3 seconds. What are you doing right now? Answer. I'm practicing English with you. That's one possible response. Where are you sitting? Answer. What can you see from there? Answer. Do you usually study at this time? Answer. What part of English is difficult for you? Answer. If you need a model, you can say, speaking is difficult for me because I need more time. Now I'll respond to you. I understand what you mean. What do you do when you forget a word? Answer. You could say, I use an easier word, or I try to explain it. That makes sense. What is one thing you want to improve this week? Answer. Perhaps you said, I want to answer more quickly, or I want to speak every day. You've just taken part in a realistic exchange. It wasn't complicated, but it required you to notice, retrieve, respond, and continue. Those are the actions that speaking needs. Now let's work on rhythm. When learners focus on individual words, their speech can become slow and disconnected. Shadowing helps you feel how words travel together in a sentence. I'll give you one short sentence. First, hear the rhythm. Then repeat it as one smooth thought. I'm taking a short break, and then I'll get back to work. Now say it with me. I'm taking a short break, and then I'll get back to work. Once more, slightly more naturally. I'm taking a short break, and then I'll get back to work. Don't rush. Smooth speech is not the same as fast speech. Try another one. I'm a little tired today, but I still want to practice. Repeat. I'm a little tired today, but I still want to practice. Again, notice how a little tired today stays together. I'm a little tired today, but I still want to practice. And one more. I don't know the exact word, but I can explain what I mean. Repeat it. I don't know the exact word, but I can explain what I mean. Again, I don't know the exact word, but I can explain what I mean. When you shadow, your attention moves beyond vocabulary. You begin to notice stress, timing, reductions, and the way phrases connect. You don't need to copy someone's identity or accent. You're training your mouth to produce natural groups of words. Now use the same rhythms with your own information. I'm taking a short break, and then I'll complete it. I'm a little tired today, but I complete it. I don't know the exact word, but complete it. You're no longer repeating only. You're adapting the language. And adaptation is a bridge to independent speaking. Let's bring English into an ordinary activity at home. Imagine you're making a drink. Instead of staying silent, narrate what you're doing in real time. I'm getting a cup. I'm pouring some water. I'd like something warm. This smells good. I'm going to sit down. If you're not making a drink now, use another simple activity. You can describe washing your hands, opening a window, preparing food, or putting something away. Don't try to describe every movement. Choose 3 useful actions. For example, I'm opening the fridge. I'm looking for something to eat. I think I'll have some fruit. Say 3 sentences about one activity you often do at home. This kind of real-time speaking reduces translation because the action itself provides the meaning. You're not starting with a sentence in another language. You're starting with what your hands and eyes are doing. Now let's move from actions to personal thoughts. I'll give you 5 flexible frames. You'll finish each one with information about yourself. Today I feel, at the moment I'm working on, one thing I enjoy is, I find it difficult to, later I'd like to. Take them one at a time and answer aloud. Today I feel, at the moment I'm working on, one thing I enjoy is, I find it difficult to, later I'd like to. If your answers are only 4 or 5 words long, they still count. Today I feel quite calm. I'm working on my English. One thing I enjoy is cooking. Clear. Personal English is valuable English. Now choose one answer and add a reason using because. One thing I enjoy is walking because it helps me relax. I'm learning English because I want more opportunities. I prefer tea because it's light and comforting. Say one sentence about yourself with because. That one small word helps you extend an answer naturally. You don't need a long explanation. One reason turns a short response into a fuller thought. Mistakes may appear as you speak. A verb may be wrong. A word may sound unclear. You might begin a sentence and then want to change it. You don't need to apologize every time. You can simply say, "Let me say that again." Or, "Sorry, I mean tomorrow, not today." Or, "That's not quite what I meant." Then continue. Let's practice a correction. Say, "I go to the store yesterday." Now, correct yourself naturally. Let me say that again. I went to the store yesterday. The important skill is not avoiding every mistake. It's noticing when necessary, repairing the message, and moving forward. If you stop after every small error, your attention becomes trapped in inspection. During speaking practice, let some mistakes pass. You can review a few important ones later. We're now ready for your voice diary. You'll speak for 30 seconds about your day. This is not the final challenge, so keep it easy. You can begin like this. Today is a... Right now, I feel... So far today, After this, I'm going to... You don't have to use every frame. Choose 3 or 4. Open the voice recorder on your phone. If you can, Pause this video and record yourself for 30 seconds. Don't write a full script first. Give yourself only a few words to guide you, then speak. Go ahead, record your 30-second diary now. When you finish, listen once with curiosity, not cruelty. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. Could I understand my main message? Did I keep speaking even when I hesitated? Which phrase sounded comfortable? Don't make a list of every error. Choose one thing to improve. Perhaps you want to speak a little more clearly. Perhaps you repeated the same word too often. Perhaps you stopped for 10 seconds while searching for a perfect expression. Notice it calmly. That recording isn't a judgment of your ability. It's a picture of today's practice. Now repeat one sentence from your diary, but make it smoother. If you said, "Today I tired because work," you could try, "I'm tired today because I worked a lot." Say the improved sentence twice. Your first attempt gave you information. Your second attempt gave you practice. This cycle of speaking, noticing, and repeating is more useful than waiting until you feel completely ready. Before the final challenge, let's gather the tools you've used. You can begin with the present moment. Right now, You can describe your environment. I can see. I can hear. You can share a feeling. Today I feel. You can talk about routine. I usually. You can express a preference. I prefer. You can explain a reason. Because. You can mention a plan. Tomorrow I'm going to. And if you become stuck, you can recover. Let me think. I don't know the exact word, but what I mean is, these are not lines you must use forever. They're supports. With repetition, you'll need them less consciously, and new language will become available. Now we come to your 1-minute speaking challenge. You're going to speak about 4 parts of your life: where you are now, what you usually do, how you feel today, and what you plan to do tomorrow. Don't translate a complete speech before you begin. Look at your real surroundings. Remember your real routine. Notice your real feeling. Choose one real plan. I'll give you a model, but your version should be about you. Right now, I'm sitting at home and practicing English. I can see my desk and a bottle of water. It's fairly quiet and I feel relaxed. I usually study in the evening because I have more time then. During the day, I work and take care of ordinary things. I enjoy learning this way because I can speak at my own pace. Tomorrow, I'm going to practice again for a few minutes. I also want to describe my morning routine in English. I may forget some words, but I can use easier ones and continue. That model is not for memorization. It shows how simple sentences can form a complete message. Set a timer for 1 minute. Start with, "Right now, then continue. If you forget a word, explain it or choose an easier idea. If you make a mistake, don't return to the beginning. Keep moving until the minute ends." Pause the video and begin your 1-minute challenge now. You did not need perfect English to complete that minute. You needed familiar phrases, real meaning, and the decision to continue. Perhaps you paused often. Perhaps your minute ended after only a few sentences. That is still a starting point you can repeat. Record the same challenge one more time. Before you begin, choose only one improvement. You might connect 2 ideas with "and." You might add one reason with "because." You might replace a long silence with "let me think." Or you might simply speak more clearly. Then record your 2nd minute. When you compare the 2 attempts, look for one improvement, not 10. Maybe the opening came more quickly. Maybe one sentence sounded more natural. Maybe you recovered instead of stopping. Visible progress can be small, but it becomes meaningful when you repeat the process consistently. For your day 1 assignment, do exactly what you've just practiced. Speak aloud for 1 minute in simple English. Don't stop to correct every mistake. Record the attempt. Listen once, choose one improvement, and record it again. You can talk about your room, your routine, your feelings, and your plan for tomorrow. Do this today, not because 1 minute will make you fluent, but because speaking becomes easier when your brain is asked to retrieve English regularly. Tomorrow, you can build on the same foundation. You don't have to remove translation by fighting it. You gradually depend on it less by creating direct connections through situations, phrases, repetition, and real speech. Be patient with the pauses. Be kind to the voice that is still learning. Courage in language learning is often quiet. It's the moment you speak, even though the sentence may not be perfect. It's the moment you let your English be heard instead of keeping every thought safely inside. When you've completed both recordings, make this personal commitment in the comments. Done.
Thanks for learning with English Voxora. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep growing. I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.